Lovelies. Today we are going to be discussing the second book of the Kingdom Keepers series by Ridley Pearson. Without any further ado, grab a snack, grab a drink, and let's talk about it. Roll the intro. For those of you who didn't read or watch my first video, this is the Kingdom Keepers series by Ridley Pearson. This is a middle grade series that I really enjoyed as a kid, and I decided to reread them considering that I found them at the thrift store for like 50 cents, and I really wanted some nostalgia. So I read the first one and I made a review on it. This is the second book. In the first one, these kids are answering the call for a Disney audition. And they get put in a green room, and they're basically scanned into holograms that are called DHIs, or Disney Interactive Hosts. So, in this book, this is them after they have defeated Maleficent in the first one, and they still don't fully understand their powers as DHIs, because one of the things that they weren't told when they got this job is that the DHIs are actually a way for these kids to be able to kind of see what's going on in the character realm, because the characters like Maleficent, Gaston, they're all real. The belief, from what I understand, Walt Disney was also aware of this, or Uncle Walt, as the Imagineer Wayne, who tells them all this, tells Finn, the leader, this. And he says basically that the belief in the characters is what makes them come alive, including the villains. And now the villains are calling themselves the Overtakers, and they want to take over the parks. And in the first book, that is them defeating Maleficent. There's also a couple mysterious sisters named Jess and Amanda. Sorry for the shaking, my cat keeps jumping on the table. Sorry. But Jess and Amanda have their own secrets that we have yet to uncover. But it's implied that they are special and that they can help the kids defeat the Disney villains. So this is the second book, and they've defeated Maleficent, and they're in a parade float for the DHIs, because it turns out that the DHIs at this moment are like really huge. They're getting put in all the other parks. They're a huge success. Everyone loves them. So they get put on a parade float. As their DHIs are on another parade route, they're on this route, and they see a giant balloon is attached to the castle, and there's a storm coming. So, and they see Jess and Amanda down on the ground, and they're pointing at the castle like something's wrong. Well, it turns out Maleficent has escaped. And that's not all. Chernabog is also involved. If you don't know who Chernabog is from Fantasia, and he is known as the most evil villain that Disney ever created. And Walt Disney himself was responsible for creating Chernabog. He is basically the embodiment of all evil. Chernabog is the baddest of the bad, okay? So they have to figure out what's going on, and it's really... This one had me on my seat for a middle grade book. This one had me on my seat because the stakes are higher. When, in the last book, in the first book, Disney at, I think it's Disney at Dawn? No, this one's Disney at Dawn. That one's Disney at Dusk. This one's Disney at Dawn. Okay. So in the first book, Disney at Dawn, it turns out that when they fall asleep, they are able to be sucked into their DHI form. So if they fall asleep, they get something called Sleeping Beauty Syndrome, which means they cannot wake up. If they fall asleep in their DHI, they can't wake up. So the stakes are higher because their DHIs get compromised. So they can't really hold the form for long. And Maleficent is trying to get them all to fall asleep and go into this Sleeping Beauty Syndrome, basically a coma where they can't wake up. So they're trying to prevent that and find Jess, because Jess gets kidnapped, and they're trying to find her all before they fall asleep of exhaustion. So it's really a race against time in this book, and it was really good. Like, I blew through this in, I think, a day. I could not put this down. If you guys are fans of Disney, if you guys are fans of the theme parks, if you like seeing things, and also this is so meta. Okay, this is so meta because in this book, if you guys like this kind of thing, I don't know if you're familiar with like Five Nights at Freddy's, but in the Five Nights at Freddy's lore, Scott Cawthon is the one that created Five Nights at Freddy's in our world. But in the book series, Scott Cawthon, and the game series, Scott Cawthon has basically self-inserted himself as a game developer who created games based on the tragedies of the Freddy Fazbear restaurants known as Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, he inserted himself in the game without inserting himself in the game. So in this book, in the way that that relates to this, in this book, there is a author who has written a series of books that works at Disney, and he, in a weird way of trying to like keep this all hush hush in case one of the kids speaks out and talks about their experiences as a DHI fighting crime. This author was told by Disney to make a book about their adventure, and it became a big seller. It became a best seller about the DHIs. It's meta. Because even a kid comes up to Finn when he's in disguise, and he's like, hey, I heard you fought Maleficent. That was really cool. And he's like, kid, that's just a book. As he's actively hiding from Maleficent's goons, who are the brooms from Fantasia. Yeah, this book was meta. It was great, though. I love this, you know, like, Disney, like, mystery type. Like, there's more to, like, the magic of the parks type. I love that. Like, I love how something isn't what it seems, and it's actually, like, whimsical and everything underneath. Like, in Harry Potter, the castle can't be seen by normal muggles unless they're told they can be seeing the castle. So, like, it's not as it seems, and I love that, because Disney is supposed to be, like, the most magical and most happy place on earth, right? But it's truly magical in these books, so I love this series, and it's been such a nostalgia trip for me, and it has been such a ride, because I haven't read past this book. So I think there's 6 of them. So if I buy the 3rd one, it's going to be a completely new experience to follow these characters past where I had followed them in middle school. So if you are looking for a book, for a middle grade book for a kid that loves Disney, get them this. Get them this series, or Ridley Pearson's other book, Peter and the Starcatchers. It's like a steampunk Peter Pan retelling. I loved that book as well as a kid. Ridley Pearson has been one of my favorite childhood authors since I was a kid. So I always recommend Kingdom Keepers or Peter and the Starcatchers. I'm giving this book, drumroll, 4.5 stars. I probably will reread this, so I'm probably going to give it a 5. A very close 5. But I really love this series. It is such a dear series to my heart, as well as, like, Inkheart by Cornelia Funk, which I'm probably going to reread Inkheart. So if you guys want that review, let me know. But yeah, that is my review of Kingdom Keepers Disney at Dawn. This is the 2nd book of the Kingdom Keepers series. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you feel like it, hit the like. Turn on the notification, or hit the subscribe button, blah, blah, blah. This is me being a YouTuber. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell for whenever I post a video if you want more of this unplanned craziness, because most of my videos are very unplanned. I don't script. I can't follow a script for the life of me. There goes my theater career. I love you all. I hope you have a great day, and happy reading. Bye.